Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is actually an episode based on Miley Cyrus's life. What's up, guys? This is Courtney, one half of the Brothers Deconstruction here, and I'm bringing you my review for episode 3 of season 5 of Black Mirror. Jack, Rachel, and Ashley too. Got some stuff going on with the ear there, boy. So this is the final episode of season 5 of Black Mirror, and it's about Rachel, who's played by Agori Rice, who I mainly know from the other guys, which I actually bought recently. Really good movie. Expect a super late review for this. It also stars Madison Davenport as Rachel's sister Jack. Jack is a weird name for a girl, but added to the list of unisex names, I guess. Kind of. And it stars Miley Cyrus as Ashley O. Now, again, I'm behind on a lot of the conversation of this season, so I don't know if there have been many people talking about this episode. It's probably the standout episode for me. And like I said in the opening of the video, this is probably like a parallel story about Miley's own life and her career. So Rachel is a super fan of Ashley O, the pop star that Miley Cyrus plays, and she's known for having really positive songs and uplifting messages in her songs, and just an overall positive kind of persona about her. And she releases these Ashley 2 like AI dolls. Basically, they scanned her brain, they put it into the doll. She talks to, all her fans that buy the doll. And, basically it's like an AI best friend, essentially. But Ashley O is this pop star, and she's kind of like any typical pop star that struggles with that stardom or has problems with that stardom. And I saw before that, a couple of days ago, or when the season actually premiered, I remember seeing an article, it's on Esquire, that says, I didn't read it, but the headline was Miley Cyrus says her Black Mirror episode is about the exploitation in the music industry. And that's basically what this episode is. Rachel is a super fan of Ashley O, right? She gets an Ashley 2 doll for her birthday. Madison is her bigger sister, kind of plays the guitar a little bit, or is learning how to play it. Mainly because their mom died. She liked a lot of those bands that play, like the old school rock bands and things like that. Rachel, becomes best friends with this doll, blah, 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 yada, yada. Ashley, on the other hand, it basically splits between Rachel's life and her relationship with her sister and her dad. Her dad has a pest control company. He deals with mice, but a humane way to get rid of mice. So instead of the traps that kill mice, he's coming up with ways where you can incapacitate them and release them out back outside or whatever like that. That's not the debate I want to bring into this review. But it also switches over to Ashley O's life. She's tired of the persona and the act that she has to put up with. And in interviews, there's an interview early on. They run a commercial for the Ashley 2 dolls, and she just looks so disinterested when it cuts to the commercial. Her relationship with her aunt isn't the best either. Her aunt is her manager. Ashley's parents died. They don't explain how. I guess that's not really important. And her aunt has been her manager and kind of guiding her along with her career. But her aunt is also the person that has her putting on this persona. And this is a really, really good episode for talking points because, eventually they're medicating her. She says that she comes up with the ideas for her songs in her dreams. So if she gets one, she wakes up, writes it down. They show that process. She starts writing down a song and starts playing the piano, trying to get the melody and everything like that down right. And it's not like a happy song. It's a more of a depressing song, and probably something that you wouldn't hear in like the pop song type of thing. It's much more of like a scream rock song almost. That's what the lyrics sound like. They have the potential for. So, you know, she's drugging her, or at least trying to drug her, because later on in the story, you know, we find out that Ashley has been collecting all of the medication for evidence because she wants out of her contract, because she doesn't want to do that type of music anymore. And her aunt says, no, you're going to keep doing it. You have one album left. Your contract is airtight until you're 25. She turns 25 in the episode, but her aunt drugs her with all of the pills that she was basically hiding. And she's like, look, even if you were planning to OD on this stuff, it's only going to put you in a chemical coma. But, you know, that'll just have to do. She drugged the food, which I saw coming, obviously. And she falls into this coma, and they use this technology to scan her brain waves and kind of piece together the songs that she's making in her head while she's in the coma, so they can release new music. I don't know if they're struggling for money or whatever like that, but there's a really interesting argument that they even get into, where her aunt Catherine tells her, look, do you know how old I was when your parents died? I was 22. You've never asked me what I had to fucking sacrifice in order to take care of you. And she retorts, do you ever sit and look around the house that you fucking live in and realize that's because of me and how hard I've worked? And I was sitting there like, I see both sides. So that's a really interesting aspect of this conversation about this particular episode. And it might be there are headlines that I saw on different articles for this episode, and one of them, I guess it was a review for it. The headline was like, this brings up a tired argument. So yes, people get taken advantage of in the music industry, in the movie industry, in any type of, you know, fame, notoriety based industry, right? But that still doesn't mean that it's okay. And, you know, more attention can get brought to it. But again, this seems like this is an episode about Miley's life. Miley started out as a Disney star, Hannah Montana, all these type of pop songs and everything like that went along with that. And then after she got out of that, she started doing like the raunchy shit, all the crazy shit. And it makes you think, did she take this on so she can have this episode kind of represent or loosely be based on her own life? It makes you think. The technology in it is crazy, of course. I mean, being able to scan her brainwaves and pick out songs and notes from her head. And later on, they basically make a giant, well, not a giant, it becomes giant, but her aunt basically gets a scan of her body so she could take a hologram on tour. Like, better than hologram Tupac, better than all that shit. You can scale it so everybody, you know, they're in a nosebleeds can fucking see. Basically how she describes it as everyone, the entire audience gets a front row seat. Things like that. So she was planning on taking that on the road. Very exploitative. Like, it is what it is. It is right there. But this is just an interesting look. You know, they were drugging her. She was gathering evidence so she can break from her contract so she can finally do the music that she wants. Now, Rachel and her sister Jack all come into play because during like the news coverage of Ashley's overdose, which they cover it up by she had an allergic reaction to shellfish and she fell into an irreversible coma. And it's like, out of all the things that you can say happened, I understand you don't want to go with drug overdose, right? But a fucking shellfish allergy? Really? Why? Why pick that? Maybe it was some medicine. Like, use an accidental overdose of like medicine or something like that. Like, I get it. She got a squeaky clean. You're just trying to portray a squeaky clean image, right? You don't want to really taint that. But a shellfish allergy, putting somebody in a coma, maybe it's happened. Maybe it's happened. But when I think allergy, food allergy, I think of people like throats closing and people dying. Like, I don't think of, somebody falls into a coma. I just think people, just can't, like, their throat closes up and they die, right? So that was one annoying thing, as well as, so going back, I got sidetracked for a minute, but going back, during the news coverage, they say, will Ashley ever wake up? Or when will Ashley wake up? You activate the doll and you deactivate the doll by saying, Ashley, wake up. Ashley, go to sleep. So the doll is on Rachel's shelf. It hears that, it wakes up. It sees all this news coverage or this particular special report about them scanning her brain, and pulling songs from it and everything like that. Doll goes haywire. Their dad is out of the house. I guess gone on a trip. I don't know. She says the scene starts with Jack trying to get Rachel some ice cream, and she says Dad left some in there for the entire week. So they come in, they're like, what the fuck is going on? They go down into the basement. Their dad kind of has the same type of mapping technology for his little mouse traps and try to figure out like the brain wave patterns or whatever. So they hook it up and they see like this particular spot on the brain. They don't know what the fuck going on, so they click on it and delete it. That's a firewall that they deleted, and so it unlocks the full personality of Ashley in the doll. Because they scan her brain to pull her exact personality. So the doll immediately gets like wakes up, starts cursing, like screaming, like, get this plug out of my ass, what the fuck is going on? Straight up. And she gives the rundown, hey, I can get evidence on my aunt, take me to my house, let's go. It was really a ruse. Shouts out to Archer.
Okay, God. Wait a minute. Is this a ruse?
I gotta catch up on Archer 1999, but shouts out. It's a ruse to get them to take Ashley to Ashley O's house so she can pull the plug on herself. Because she wouldn't, as she says, she wouldn't want to be in this type of environment, in this type of situation. Except Ashley O wakes up. She doesn't die because there's like they have like her hooked up to a machine that I guess is kind of monitoring the coma, maybe keeping her there. I'm not entirely sure. Pulls a plug. You think she's dead after that, but my reaction was, because Rachel took Ashley 2 up there, so she goes up there and pulls a plug. And Rachel's all sad and shit. Rachel is a mega fangirl. She's just like fangirling and shit like that, right? So she's sad. She's like, you killed her. And I'm sitting there like, just plug the fucking machine back in, man. What are you doing? Why are you sad? Plug it back in. For the life of me, I didn't understand why she didn't just plug it back in. But didn't have to, because Ashley wakes up. Now, after that, they knock out the security guard, Bear, and they knock out the doctor. And Ashley says, look, take me to the stadium. We got to stop my aunt. So they're like driving over there. Jack doesn't have her license. She barely knows how to fucking drive. They get there. They drive they run a red light. Police are chasing them. They drive into the stadium, cause a scene. Rachel and Jack get out with their hands up. They're holding hands and shit. Ashley steps out, flips her aunt off, and her aunt is like, oh, fuck it. And again, we get over the end credits, we get scenes of, I guess, what happened after that. So I'm guessing that Ashley's aunt just let her make the fucking type of music that she wanted to make, or at least let her out of the contract, because it cuts to this one particular song. Ashley is playing it at like a dive bar almost. Like, it's a very small venue. She's singing it, playing the guitar. Jack is playing the guitar, which is a nice callback because at different points in the episode, Jack had her headphones on, kind of practicing the guitar and trying to play it. And it's not like a straight up screamer song, but it's a very loud, aggressive song. But she's playing it. Rachel is in the crowd with the little Ashley old doll that's still like dancing around and shit like that. And their dad is talking to the bartender about the fucking mousetraps. So, yeah, that was the episode. And again, I think this was a really good episode. I think Miley is an okay actress, and I think she did a good enough performance in this episode where she came off as believable, especially with like the cursing. I can imagine Miley Cyrus like yelling at somebody like that. I think when she voiced the little Ashley 2 doll, she went a little bit overboard and she sounded like she was trying too hard to be shock funny. But other than that, I liked her performance. And, Agori Rice is a great young actress. She was in The Other Guy. She's in Spider-Man Far From Homecoming. And I'm assuming she's in Spider-Man Far From Home. And Madison, the actress who played Jack, I forgot her name that quickly. She did a good job as well, because her and Jack and Rachel's relationship really isn't all that great. And there's an argument that they have at one point in an episode where Rachel says, look, ever since mom died, you've been moping around and doing all this other stuff and trying to play the guitar, which you're probably not good at because you're too fucking scared to let anybody hear you play. And it's like, oh shit, okay, damn. All right, we just letting the shots go like that, okay. Yeah, all the performances of the main 3 actresses were good. And I'd say that the actress who played the aunt did a good job as well, because she came off as slimy, conniving, and, just this, you couldn't trust her. I didn't trust her. As soon as I saw her on screen, I was like, this bitch looked like she up to something. So, yeah, that's the review. I know this is just way too long, but whatever at this point. I'm going to try to get this review up probably the very next day instead of the following week for my review of Season 5 of Black Mirror. So the review of episode 2 is already up. Ideally, I'll probably put this review up a couple of days later, simply because I don't want to stretch it out. I've watched it. I'm about to move on to Jessica Jones Season 3, get that out of the way, maybe do a review for that. So yeah, but overall, this episode, I don't even know if I got the title right before. I think it's Rachel, Jack, and Ashley 2, but whatever. The episode is good. It's a surprising, it's a non-surprising look at the potential exploitation of a singer or some type of entertainer. But again, that conversation probably needs to be had because we've heard about these stories all too often. So, and it just makes you think, is this a story that's loosely based on Miley's own life? Like, did she feel that way about her early career and, up to now, or what? She was definitely the perfect person to get for this episode. I'll say that much. But yeah, the episode is good. This caps off a pretty good season of Black Mirror, I think. I gotta go back and read some of the reviews and watch some videos on Easter eggs and stuff like that. But Again, that's my review for season 5 of Black Mirror. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Check out all the other videos. Thanks for all the support, and I'll be catching up with you guys later.